Welcome to the World of Podcast 2016 Warcraft panel. The following is a presentation of D20 Creative Alliance and Con Before the Storm. For more information, go to conbeforestorm.com.
Well, welcome to the World of Warcraft panel at Con Before the Storm. My name is Adam K, aka Bay, and I'm the director and host of FinalBossTV. I mostly, if you don't know about the podcast that I do and the videos we do, I interview players and then like top tier raiders and we pick their brains about classes and specs and everything like that. I just recently interviewed Exorcist for the world first Emerald Nightmare. They spoke pretty good English actually for Russians. The joke was that they're going to win, of course, because then I can't interview them, but it was all good. But that's enough about me. I'll throw it over here to my other panelists today.
I've used the microphone before.
All the way over there. Who are you again?
My name is Tattva, Tyson Gill, whatever, Tattva I prefer. But I'm the creator with Tovo, who has disappeared.
He's a ghost, actually.
He's a ghost, but we create the line of sight, or we are Line of Sight Gaming. We create those 2-minute tip raid guide vids.
Take care of each other.
Started a couple years ago, basically started at the beginning of WoD, and it's been cool. Not enough raid content lately, but now we're in Legion, so now we can get started again. It's pretty awesome. It's been good.
Okay, that works. My lobotomized mic here, I don't know if you can see the top is like sheared off. I won't. I'll try not to bite it. My name is Dustin Turley. I'm the co-host, one of 3 hosts of Horde for Life, the Horde for Life podcast, hordeforlife.com. Our basis of our show, don't judge me by the name, we cover it all. Trust me. It's just
I don't know
about that. It's one of those things where you get branded and you kind of can't change your brand. So here we are. But we focus mainly on blue sky discussions and the future of the game and where it's going, and we sometimes go off the rails. Every time we start the show, we assume we're going to go about an hour and a half, and it ends up being like 3 hours, and people complain because they got to download this massive file to listen to us. But it's a good discussion. Like I said, it's a blue sky discussion mainly from listeners that write in or tweet us, and we just go with it. So we're pushing 3 or 4 years now of doing that. So we're psyched, and I'm psyched to be here with these great people.
I guess that's me. Well, hello, everybody. Hi, Marco. Marco in the back? Marco Polo? That's right. My name is Belle, and I am one of many with PWNCAST. We podcast, we game, we drink. We do things, cha-chas mainly. I'm really excited to be here with all these fine gentlemen, since I seem to be the only girl here.
We're nerds, Belle. We're nerds.
Well, okay, yeah. There's no gender in nerds, right? We're gender fluid, right? Right? Okay. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm one of the co-hosts of Azeroth Roundtable. While pretty much everybody else has some sort of specialty with their show, we don't specialize in anything. We just kind of get together and talk. Yeah,
that's my kind of guy.
That's really about it. So
I guess we were trying to figure out, because there's so many topics to talk about just about World of Warcraft, to keep this in the time constraint, because my shows are aimed at 90 minutes, but always go to about 2 hours, and that's kind of become the standard. But now the joke is like, so they're 2:15 now? So without so much to go over. So I want to go over first off, let's take an early look back at Legion so far. We've got about 2 months in right now, and I think we can all agree that it's better than Warlords. I'm not sure. Warlords was pretty good, though.
Well, like I've been a WoW fanboy since the inception, so for a very long time. So,
Would you say you're a vanilla player? Is that what's happening? Are you setting us up for the I'm a vanilla player?
I was there, too.
statement?
oh no, I was gonna stop it there, but I am a vanilla player.
There you go.
There we go. It's out of the bag now, but I mean, my focus has always been WoW raids, and that's been always a high point in World of Warcraft, in my opinion. They've always done a very good job. Sometimes content doesn't come out quick enough, like we saw with Hellfire and that whole debacle.
But Tanan Jungle, though.
I was too busy making videos. I actually still don't even have flying in WoD, so yeah, exactly. But
Well, that's fine. While you were making videos, all of us got bored.
Well, we were all
just
hitting our
happened.
red button in our garrison.
Yeah, of
It
course.
was
Right.
very engaging.
The garrison was serious. The fire, I would log out at the fire in my inn. So,
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the question I have is like, how are your thoughts on the content wall that just crushed us? So we have world quests, obviously the raids. I had to change my flight to get back home because Trial of Valor opens on the 8th now, which I didn't know 2 months ago when I got my plane ticket. So I have to be home for that. But we have raids, Mythic Plus dungeons. I mean, the new Warforged Titan Forge system. We have legendaries that not always feel very legendary. And
I don't
then-
have any, so I don't know what that
Yeah,
feels
see, I don't
like.
think they drop. I think it's all a
I
myth.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're myths. They're not legendaries. I think it's all fake.
I may have two, but they don't really do anything. So, are they legendary?
They're orange.
They're-
I guess-
it's just so you can say you have a shiny, really.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason they give you shit like that.
Right. So, I don't know. Ben, what do you think of the content wall that has washed over us for Legion so far?
Content.
The content wall.
Oh,
What do
okay.
you feel about it?
You know what? I wouldn't say it's that much of a wall. It's more of an opportunity.
Oh.
You know, there's so much to do, and you know, I go through. I'm leveling my monk. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm doing stuff, and you know, running around with Chen, which I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he's got a drinking problem. We don't talk about it, but he's constantly trying to. So, first of all, the companion system is great. I just have to say that. But the leveling content is a lot of fun. I'm actually, you know, going through and doing some normal raiding. I'm getting into mythics. There's pet battling. There's PvP if you want, which I haven't actually done any of that yet. But it is, you know, whenever anybody complains that there's too much to do, I just look at it as there's a lot to do and I have options. I don't need to do every single thing at every single second of the game. I can focus here, focus there, and I really enjoy how they have a lot of the content spread out so that it's not a, you know, you have to do all of your emissary quests today. Right. Otherwise, you're never going to get anything. The world quests are set up so that you can do them after a couple days. You know, it's just one of those things where we have so many options that since I'm kind of busy in life, I don't feel like I'm actually missing out on this expansion at all. And that's something that I think that Blizzard has done a great job adding to the feel of this expansion that they've never had before.
Yeah, I think that just to piggyback on that a little bit, the content wall is definitely can be overwhelming because there's a lot of stuff to do, and if you're a completionist person, kind of like I am, you're gonna go nuts over it because there's so many things to do, and you feel like you have to do all of it. But he's right; you don't have to do all of it. I feel like Blizzard has taken every single aspect of the game of our daily routine, and they've made it better. I think world quests are way above and beyond dailies ever were. I mean, I think, but it was like everything at once. It's like, hey, so you asked for all this stuff, here it is.
Right.
And it can feel overwhelming. So I personally have had to take just a step back and go, okay, one thing at a time. And then I read Twitter and I feel like I'm completely behind on everything. So that's, but people are shaking their heads and nodding in agreement. So I think I'm not completely alone.
Yeah, it's an interesting. I wanted to take a moment. The gentleman that just walked up on stage is not a ghost. That's the other half. Do you want to introduce yourself, Tovo?
Yeah, sorry. I'm Tovo from LOS Gaming. I didn't hear my phone ringing, and sorry for being late. But hi.
But welcome.
Thanks.
We have to read lips a little bit right here, just so you know.
Yeah, it's a little hard to hear, but I
Yeah.
know what he's saying is amazing, right?
Right.
Right.
Well, hopefully.
Hi.
Yeah, the sound is mostly going that way. So
Yeah, it is a little bit. But so I don't know. I'm gonna poke the LOS guys for a moment here because of they're probably similar in what I do in the game. Like I've been done with content now for about a week. Xavius Mythic is not. It's unfortunately, but from your perspective now, building your guides you make and looking at the raids right now, what are your thoughts are on, I guess, the complexity because in Warlords, Blizzard had this huge, like, high-octane, every fight, one whoops, and poof, you're dead. Do you feel it's the same still, or is there a bit of a change that has happened so far in Nightmare? If you've tested Trial of Valor, which comes out in a week.
Right. The one thing that I have to say about that is it's hard to compare the previous tiers based on how much gear is available to you now.
Right.
Because things that would definitely make the raid go, like you said, nowadays, if your average item level is so much higher, you can survive way more of the mechanics that were previously would have been fatal. So I like that aspect. I like that you're able to, outside of a raid night with a smaller team, go in and gear up and everything like that. And it just makes it hard to compare the past tiers to the new tier. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's really difficult. So I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know if the community has to change its outlook on what's the most difficult content, because the most difficult content right now is scaling 5-mans, because it's infinitely
Or
scaled.
LFR. LFR is...
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, depending on who's you get in your LFR, it can be very difficult. But yeah, so it seems like it's going to have to be a shift in perception, and I think it's happening. It feels like it's happening, and I'm excited about the smaller content a lot. So.
Yeah, and just like going off of that, a lot of people viewed the race as this one day and done thing. Like they were done. Like the top guilds in the world had cleared Mythic, Emerald Nightmare, day one. It was over, the race was done. But like the thing is the amount of time they put in before that started, they were running Mythic Pluses, 18 hours a day to get ready?
Right.
And so, they totally outgeared it, which has never been the case ever before in WoW. But as far as raiding goes, like even in the Q&A with Ian, like he mentioned that this was an introductory raid to Legion, and it's a good jumping off point. Like I think it's probably my favorite raid aesthetically ever, Emerald Nightmare. It's just such a cool place, fighting underneath like a destroyed Mulgore, just running around and killing the different bosses and stuff. I think it's in a good spot, and it bodes well for the rest of Legion, like going into Trial of Valor and then into Nighthold. I think we're in a good spot.
I think there's like this interesting new feel, because when I was interviewing devs and talking to them last year when we were in Warlords, and the only way you ever would actually play the game was if you didn't raid, you logged in for your LFRs, and then you realized that what else could you do as a different player that had a different play style of time. But now there is this huge gulf that you just fill with, I'll do a little bit of that today, or that tomorrow. Belle, what do you do with, do you raid? Have you been diving into the Mythic Plus system right now? How?
Well, you guys should know that I am an elite LFR. I do not, you're looking at LFR royalty, right? Right? I raid with my guild, but I'm not on a level anything close to when you ask me what do I think of the difficulty of a raid. I get impaled and I stand in bad and I need a pocket healer and my raid lead kicks me out of my own guild run. So
all right.
And I own the guild. So
but is it fun?
It is fun, because when you die with people that you care about, it makes that death better, right? I feel if you're gonna wipe the raid, they should be your friends so that they don't yell at you.
I feel she's doing this on purpose.
It's just your way to say thank you for all the love, right?
Right, but I can't admit it because my raid leader's right here, and there might be times when I wanted the raid to be done, so maybe wipes happened. I don't know. You guys, none of you heard that.
I didn't. What did he say? He didn't. Yeah, no, it's a wild ride right now. Some of the questions I would ask the guests that I bring on my show, like if, the different raiders from the top tier guilds, we have these issues with, I guess, how loot feels really RNG right now, and how World of Warcraft feels very Diablo, which is good and bad, I guess, because you can log in one day and you feel like you actually did something. Because for a year plus, at the end of Hellfire Citadel, you could do nothing for weeks. So the one thing you can always do technically in Warlords going into Legion now, though, was the weird hook that we're still like at war, but Gul'dan is here. So let's talk about PvP for a little bit, which I am completely a noob at. I have no idea.
So do you want to duel then?
Do I want to do?
I'll duel you.
Oh, I don't know about this.
I don't duel ever, especially my friends. I have not dueled in 7 years.
I don't know. Do we have? This is a topic I brought up, but has anyone actually been doing a lot of PvP in Legion so far?
Me.
Oh yeah.
So I'm a Destro Warlock, right?
Oh.
I'm like one of the last of a very dying breed of Destruction Warlocks still in PvP, but I'm making it happen. You right there, you're Destro, right? That's right.
You can look at someone, and you hit your Nether portal 3 times, and you can walk away, and they will die.
I can fear and 2 Chaos Bolt most classes, unless you're a rogue, and then you can. There's that. Are you a rogue?
Yeah, I mean, but I guess that's the one thing.
Well, here's the thing. Even rogues like do that to each other, so it's fine. Everybody
Rogues
knows.
are just mean people. Rogues are anybody that's a rogue. I feel like they had a really bad high school life, so they're.
Wow.
That's like revenge, right?
Someone should have bought them
Reaper
ice
in
cream
Overwatch.
after school one day.
Yeah.
They missed it.
They weren't the most popular, so rogue is their payback because sap.
I think if they're assassination, maybe, because they'll come out of stealth, 2 buttons, walk away, and you'll just bleed to death.
They're also cowards. I get it. That's the way the class is set up, right? That's what you do. You do it from behind. I totally get it. I would if I was a rogue. But, like, I feel like in PvP, I want to face my adversary, like, one-on-one without, like, sapping and running away. I guess I'm old school like that, though.
That's why you play a pirate.
Well, maybe, actually.
But I guess the only question I had about PvP was the huge stat sheet change, which I stream all the time. And I had people that come into my stream who are like, so our enhancement shamans, the class that I play, are you like totally awful now because the 10% agility nerf? And I'm like, that's for PvP. So it's kind of confusing now when you have the systems are separated, which from my perspective is amazing, finally. Well, it took them 17 years. But do you feel that the stat sheets helped from previous expansions? Because I didn't really do anything in the last 2. So is it a more level playing field, or do
it
you
isn't.
still...
They want it to be, and they make you think that it is, but that is a lie, just like the cake. It's not.
Where's Brian? Where's Helenka?
It's not balanced, but PvP is not supposed to be balanced. You're supposed to have your classes that are more overpowered, where you instantly know the second you go into any kind of PvP with them, you're dead. Like, just roll over, you're dead. But I think that they've done a good job with making PvP relevant again.
Right.
I have a question actually about PvP. With all the ability pruning and everything that's happened, has there been a huge difference in PvP? I mean, especially across all the different classes?
I think what you're seeing more of is you're seeing more classes and specs that you didn't see previously because they're making them relevant.
Yeah.
Tanks don't belong in PvP, but yet they are, right?
They are incredibly disruptive.
They are just jerks.
Or assholes,
Yes.
basically.
But I think you're starting to see classes be at the top that you don't normally see. There's a lot of elemental shamans too, which is really nice to see. Not super powerful, but bursty.
Ret Paladins? Any Ret Paladins in the audience today?
Yeah, Rep Pallies,
Oh, well,
I'm
that's
sure.
telling. I was going to try to give you guys a high five because for the first
No
time
high-
it actually is like, we're good again! But I don't know.
No high five.
Not-
Any blood DKs that are PvPing besides you? See, I love. No, why? You just broke my heart.
She was trying to make a point.
My heart is broken. I'm not going to recover.
I think because not everyone is playing the flavor of the month specs like they were all in Warlords now, and like you get 36 classes all in this bucket, where last expansion you had like 14 or 12 or whatever, the top tier.
Well, they've made it difficult for you to
Right.
to multi-spec because you have to
True.
focus on your weapons. So they're kind of forcing you to stop swapping to what the flavor of the month is and to kind of just play it out through the good and the bad.
It's a wild ride. Tattva, Tovo.
My personal PvP experience has been World Quest PvP. Like, I think I'm a fourth prestige already, and I don't think I've done a battleground or arena yet. So, like bareback brawl, I'm all over that. Turn it into murky until they nerfed him. That was a lot of fun, but
Yeah.
yeah. But as far as PvP goes, I mean, it's cool what they're doing, trying to get people out in the world, fighting against each other. But generally these days, you see just huge groups of people running together, and it's terrifying. And you just like run, kill your bears, run away. That's basically my whole experience with PvP right now.
Very similar here. I mean, honestly, you're asking the wrong guy when you're talking about PvP.
Right.
But it's very similar. I'm the guy who's doing world quests and says, oh, you know what? That'd be a really cool flight path to have right there. Find my way up there, and you get the little message that says, you're in a PvP zone. And I go, son of a bitch. I'm looking around. Okay, I just got to run, grab the green exclamation point, and I'm just going to die. That's fine. I'll just take it from a rogue, probably.
So
and be
you
done.
don't PvP either then?
No.
Do you want a duel also?
Sure.
Well, you know, I will say that I guess I forgot I did PvP this expansion. I randomly, was out doing a world quest and then stumbled upon an area that flagged me, and I said, "Oh crap!" Turned around, ran back, started doing my world quest, and then somebody came and kind of ganked me, and I'm like, "Oh well, that sure sucks." Rezzed. Saw them over there. They just kind of looked at me, and they realized, oh, he has no idea what he's doing, and just left me alone.
They
So,
felt sorry for you.
to that kind warrior, thank you.
I think the world PvP like quest areas that aren't stat sheet balanced probably the most fun ridiculousness though, because like you get a balance through that you don't notice, and all of a sudden an entire moon drops on your head, and you're just dead. And like, all right, I guess that's fair. So shifting gears to a totally different thing that, depending on what you do in these, like with guilds, I'm incredibly fortunate that I've been on the same guild since Spine of Deathwing. And like mythically raiding, we raid 4 nights a week, normally clear in like the 50 to 100 top US, right? Which is, yeah, it's okay. But I don't know how other guilds function. And I get viewers that come ask me, how do you find a guild in Legion now? I'm coming back to the game. I didn't play in Warlords because my red button wasn't very engaging. So how do guilds work now? And have you all been in the same guilds you've been in this whole time? But do you have, like, I don't know how that system in this game, because there's no tools in the game really to do it.
We all get together and make blood sacrifices to the RNG gods. That's what we do as a
RNG
guild.
is-
You're praying that you get better gear.
Oh, okay.
Where 2 or more are gathered, right?
I mean, there is a shoulder enchant where you literally harvest
Right.
blood.
I think if it wasn't for things, honestly, with our guild anyway, I don't think if it wasn't for things like Slack and Discord, I think we'd be completely fall apart. Because, like you said, there are no tools right now. I mean, it feels like, Blizzard said, guilds are this thing now, and people take care of their stuff, and we don't want to compete with Discord, we don't want to compete with Slack, so we'll just let them handle their own thing. Which is kind of sad, because I think guild perks were a really cool thing, and I really think something along those lines should come back. Not in its exact form as it was before, but yeah, it's hard to keep them together. Like I said, if it wasn't for mobile apps like Slack and Discord, like I see 2 of my guildies over there that can't hear me, Baron and Nymph. But anyway, I only know who they are because of Slack. Because our guild is so large, I would have no idea. And because I'm the utility raider, what I mean by that is I'm the guy that if I happen to be on and they need somebody, that's me. So, I'm not unfortunately not as involved in the guild as I'd like to be. My wife and I had just had a baby a month ago, so my brain is completely fried. But as far as that goes, like I said, third-party apps are king, because if it wasn't for them, well, we'd be nothing.
In my experience, this sort of ties back into the 5-man system with the way that it's set up for how rewarding the Mythic Pluses are. you don't have to be in a guild to find good players to play with. We've experienced it. We have a couple, at least, raiders in our guild that we just met through 5-man pugs, through Mythic Pluses. And they've turned out to be crucial players, and we never would have met them if it wasn't for how easy it is to access higher-end content and reward systems through the 5-man system. So I think just through that, you don't even have to be in a guild. You just have to run those pugs. I mean, at a certain point, you obviously need a base eye level. If you haven't done them from the beginning of the expansion, it's going to be harder, obviously. But just through that alone, you can meet similar skilled players and meet, just like you used to do. You used to spam and trade, looking for 3 players for whatever the 5-man dungeon was in Burning Crusade, and that's how all we met in the beginning. So it's sort of a similar, just bumped up in technology way to meet players of similar skill.
So I have a slightly different experience with guilds, especially going from, actually the last couple of expansions. I'm a member of one of the big mega guilds on the Horde side, and I mean, we have 11 co-guilds because we have so many people. And I mean, yeah, we have some issues, recruiting and everything is something we don't really have to worry too much about because there's a lot of word of mouth on the server because, people see the guild tag everywhere that they go and everything. But we do have some issues where, we still want to make sure that we can communicate like outside of game and get to know everybody because even though we're a gigantic guild, some small cliques do, form and everything like that. But being able to have, different things like you're saying, like Slack, Discord, and things like that, that has actually helped tremendously. I usually only play, maybe more later at night after work and things like that. So I don't get to, the chance to know everybody in game when they're off doing other things. But, with Slack, Discord, everything like that, you can like learn so much more about the people who are your in-game family than you would just by, playing for 3 hours every night because you're just going to see the same people. So like something like that has actually grown our guild, I would say tremendously, even though we're already insanely large as it is. So, finding people to do things like in other games, like say, Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, something like that, is so much easier because we're able to just have that communication. So, just one of those fun things.
So you're in a really large guild?
Yeah, AIE.
Okay. So I've been on many rants. Blizzard ignores guilds. They don't really put too much into guilds. So I think we have a very large guild, and we started with just a few people, and somehow it turned into 2 guilds, and then shit happened, and raiding happened, and all this stuff happened. But I think, honestly, in regards to guilds, it's just how much you put into it. A lot of it starts with leadership, and I think no matter whether Blizzard puts into it, or it's tough to get communication, or cliques form, all these things, I think it just depends on how well the guild handles it and if they care enough to put into it, honestly.
You almost led me into a perfect segue for the next topic with handling things, because I was going to bring up Nami.
We killed him and buried him in the basement of the inn in Delaran. So, yeah. No more Nami.
You use him as a blood sacrifice, then?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Along with a bunch of charred food remains.
I mean, this is a segue into professions, because not to keep coattailing on the fact that Warlords wasn't the greatest expansion, is that...
You got to give it up for the stepping stone, man. It was the stepping stone.
Right.
It set it up to have an awesome expansion after it, right?
I guess you do have to fall before you get back up.
Okay.
So that is technically true. But I guess from my perspective, since I just spend gold to get consumables and augment runes, and anyone out there that sells them for more than like 650 gold, you're a crook. I need those. So, but like professions mean a lot more now when you're like involved, and there's a profession team, there's a new items team, they have quests, they're taking you out to like everywhere. Like, I didn't even know that there's another boss in Nomuragon right now, because engineers had to go back there, and they're like, what's this button do? I haven't killed that guy
Don't
yet.
do it. It's a tarp. Don't do it.
It is. He's
it's
not.
It's a bad time. It's a bad time.
Yeah. The only actually kills I've ever heard of this guy were because they bug him out. But
blood sacrifices. Those people that blood sacrifice killed him.
Take him down there, and that's how you sacrifice him. You go, hey, hit that button.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. I'm doing it wrong then, obviously. Where's your 2-minute guide on how to kill Omega Plug? All right. Where is this?
Have you killed him without bugging him?
I haven't. No.
Oh, okay.
Bugged kill doesn't make a very good kill video, would it?
Whenever you do that, just let us know, and we'll tell everybody how to do it.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. But how do you guys feel about professions? Because they've been incredibly revamped, and like gathering feels good, even though now everyone's got the shoulder enchantments for blood because of the blood trader. But do you feel like that's the good move? Blizzard has a tendency to like swing the pendulum like way one direction. So last time we get everything for free. Now this time it's all important because we need it all, and it's super expensive. So if you took advantage of Starlight Rose for the first 2 weeks, but damn you, it's like 300 gold a flower. But yeah, so who's digging into professions right now? Anyone?
Okay.
Ben?
So, on an episode of my show, I went on a huge rant about crafting professions in Warlords. I hated it. It is one of the only times that I've probably edited myself with a multitude of bleeps in a nice 5-minute chunk or so. As you said, the pendulum swung back the other way entirely, and instead of just I get my mats by doing this, and now I just make crap. We're adventuring. We're going out there and actually doing things, and on paper that is great. I am so excited to do stuff like that. But here's the thing: I've gone through my alchemy quest. I've got through it. I did 100 dungeons or whatever. I don't know, because you have to go into every dungeon for everything now, which again, hey, they're relevant again and again and again. And I'm very excited because now I've gotten through the entire quest and I can make cauldrons for my raid team, and I am super excited about this. This is something that is awesome because you know how expensive flasks are right now. Nobody's using them because they're so expensive. So I'm like, great, I can make this stuff. I'll set it down. Everyone will love me. This is going to be the best thing. And then I can't even get the recipe until I'm Alchemy 800, and I'm like 750 just by, trying to level up and do as much as I can. And my heart sank. It was not a good day at Ben's house. Unfortunately, I probably won't get up to 800 for quite a while because the amount of herbing or the amount of gold that I have to just kind of throw out there in order to just get to that point is something that I really don't care to do right now. And I was actually really excited to actually get to that point. So, bummer.
I think a lot of people would argue that it's too much work for professions, especially when you're dealing with alts, right? Nobody wants to level because most of the stuff you have to be max level. And I've thought a lot about this because originally I was like, oh shit, I can't have everything I need on all my characters because I don't have time to level every single one. But then I think about it and I realize our number one complaint, people on the forums during Warlords, was how easy professions were, and nobody was making money, nobody was relevant, people were going to their garrison, so they fixed it. Then you have people on the forums that are bitching because it's difficult and you have to work hard. Hey, guess what? In real life, you work hard for your money. Why not in World of Warcraft, right? Just throwing that out there, right?
The mantra for Warlords, like the chant on the forums, was, there's nothing to do, Blizzard, this game is so boring. And now the new chant for Legion is, there's too much to do, Blizzard, this game has too much, I can't do it all.
But I think it's good. I think it was needed. I think you should focus on your professions on your main. And then if you have time after you finish your Legion to-do list, go and roll another alt and fix it. But if not, I guess you're spending money in the auction house on herbs if you don't have a gatherer.
I'm really glad I went first.
I feel like with Warlords, it was, you're absolutely right, Bay, with those chants. I feel like in Warlords, it was kind of Blizzard's answer to all the people that said a lot of stuff wasn't accessible enough. So we're going to make all this stuff really accessible. And then people said, well, now it's too accessible, and now I have nothing to do because I've done everything. And almost, it's like, if you're against the professions, which I'm not, I think it's great. I think it's just another thing to do that we're not going to get tired of, and I think it needed a massive revamp. But I feel like that was Blizzard's answer, and they said, be careful what you wish for. Because, okay, you wanted these, and it's not just professions, right? I mean, I know that's the topic we're on.
Right.
PvP, all these different revamps that we're seeing and that we've seen in Legion, really was Blizzard answering, saying, okay, fine, here's what you asked for.
Yeah, they pushed the whole shuffleboard just in our laps.
Yeah, they said this is what. It's like they sat in a R&D or dev room and they said, okay, here's all the things people are complaining about the most. Let's give them all these things that they want.
Right.
And then now watch them complain. They will. They'll watch them complain.
Well, they will. We'll always complain. We're never satisfied.
Never happy.
Well,
ever.
if you
And that's
didn't
because
stand
I
it
pay
so much bad.
$14.99 a month.
Right.
By God, you will do what I say.
I mean, not even that. Technically, right now, which this is kind of a spoiler, but the token in U.S. is so cheap. The game is essentially free to play because you can make so much gold off herbs that.
You're that guy that sells like one herb for 1,000
No.
gold. I know you are.
No,
I know it.
I have footage of me complaining about people that sell them for one. Stacks of at least 5.
I
Come
know.
on. Can we get stacks of 5? At least stacks of 5.
I agree.
But the new auction house resort now, like even if those ones overall are not as good, then it'll link them below.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the pendulum definitely swings. But I want to make sure we have enough time. I have a whole bunch of shirts to give away, and we have the gauntlet for some trivia.
Oh yeah, the dreaded gauntlets.
But we need to at least gush a little bit about Karazhan.
Fantastic. The best.
What?
It was so good.
It was so good.
So good.
So
So
good.
good.
So you guys that are like professional video makers, you've all cleared in, and you guys are like top elite, right?
We're amateur video makers.
Because I'm like
and
3 of 7, and it was 6 hours for that 3 of 7. Okay, 6 hours. Yeah.
Karazhan's difficult, and I think that's great. You know, it's especially the Nightbane achievement. I mean, if you're fully mythic geared, you're going to be able to do it, but you still might not be able to do it on your first attempt, and that's amazing. It's a 5-man, and you still might not be able to do it. I mean, that's something that hasn't been true for maybe ever.
Maybe ever.
Yeah, and I wanted to touch on that. Make one point about the profession thing. It feels like they took professions from a mobile game and made it a real game, and that's all I wanted to add about that. Because it seemed very log on, only to do this, click a couple buttons, log out, and you have everything you need. And now you finally have to actually play the game to play the game.
Valid point, actually. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a middle ground that I think they may have overstepped, but it's a whole lot better than it used to be because it feels good to craft at least certain stuff, mostly flasks and potions. But yeah, it's tough. I'm sure from their side because they get all the analytics of people that are actually out now, like farming and gathering and herbing and all this kind of stuff, and mining and leathering, all this kind of stuff, because they weren't doing it last expansion. So, I mean, it's definitely not like a cookie clicker. It's not just like, yeah. But Karazhan, though.
Yeah, going back to that, Tovo mentioned it earlier about the whole mentality behind 5-mans these days. Like, it's been steamroll for so long. Do it as fast as you can. Pull everything. Just go, 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 go. And yeah, we're fairly geared out. And, you know, we went through it and had our wipes and did all that stuff. Got the Nightbane thing down and stuff. But I hope the community doesn't get so frustrated with it that they complain about it so much that they never do a 5-man that is that difficult when it first comes out again. Because like in the Q&A, I think Ian even mentioned that like a raid mentality is kind of a cool thing for a 5-man experience. Yeah. Like you view it as progression. Like, hey, there's 5 of us. Let's go take these few hours we have tonight. Let's kill a few bosses or wipe on the first boss. You know, like view it as a 5-man raid. Like progress through the thing, and eventually, you know, you have a week to do it. You don't have to do it all in one go and stuff. They eventually get there with the Nightbane where they're just like, okay, steamroll now, go fast. But I don't know, just the whole idea of a five-man raid content is kind of a cool thing. And I hope they pursue it further, personally.
Yeah, I do too. I totally agree. If we remember back in Cataclysm, I think it was, the dungeons when we first came out were insanely difficult. And it
The
burned
first
out,
2 weeks.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
It burned out everybody. And but that was also coming off of Wrath, where it was the steamroll. Like we were just, it was just steamroll after steamroll after steamroll. I mean, you literally just sat in Violet Hold in Wrath and just let the bosses come at you and you just killed them. You were like Neo in the Matrix, and you're just like tossing them left and right. And then we went to Cata, and they really went overboard to not make that happen, and it really frustrated everybody. So I'm really glad that this time they're coming at it, and at least they're getting out in front of it. Ian, like you said, Ian's getting out in front of it saying, look, treat it like a 5-man raid.
Yep.
And if you do it that way, people won't get as frustrated because they don't expect to just run through it in a half hour. And I think that's really cool because it's something to, just like a raid, to aspire to for a smaller group of people. And, because for some people, like we even talked about the guilds before, it's really hard to get into raids for some people. Yeah. That's not the LFR, right? So this is a cool thing, I think. And I totally agree, Tyson. I think it should be this way going forward.
Yeah, I cannot wait to get into Karazhan. I have one mythic to go, and that place is so great. I mean, that was the first raid I ever went to in Burning Crusade. So it is going to be one of those things where it's like, oh, yay, nostalgia, as well as like all this new and apparently incredibly trippy stuff that happens as well. And it is going to be just, best time of my life.
It's not the best time of your life. I'm just going to it's amazing, but it's not going to be the best time of your life.
Oh, no, it will be.
Just trying to make sure we're being honest here so people have good expectations going in.
I play a healer now, so it's going to be hell.
Oh,
but,
fun for you.
Yeah, best time of my life.
Yeah, the little tagline I had for Karazhan is that the nostalgia at first, it's good. And then it gets better, and then it gets really weird. And you'll do with the dungeon if you haven't yet, or if you have now. You can think like, okay, where is it get good? Okay, and then when it gets weird, yep, that makes sense. It really is probably one of their best 5-mans they've probably ever made in the game. So regardless of how you progress through it or not, like it hits on certain points. It's not a pushover encounter, so you feel like you've accomplished something. Because even the heroics now, and then the new heroics are basically just mythic, flat mythic, is still really pretty simple. And you do them so many times, very repetitive. So, because if you haven't seen the horse walls on Atumen yet, just wait.
Walls made of horses, or do they run at you? Again, I haven't been in there yet.
Both.
It's awful. Those horses were not
terrifying.
made for humans at all. It is a very bad time, especially when you're already shitty with raid mechanics.
Oh, no.
Every single time I got hit by those horses, no matter what I did.
I feel really bad for your healer.
Oh, it was no. The healer let me die. They didn't care.
I don't feel bad anymore then.
But I soulstoned myself and then died again to the same line of horses.
Yeah, warlock. So I guess Gauntlet for a little bit.
I do. Did we get music? Probably not. No.
I hope so. I have no idea. The music is really important for the Gauntlet, but we need
the music
some
is
AV
like
help.
it's supposed to make you stressed out, but
Right.
So we have enough for 3 different people.
Three different people.
Yeah.
Root just gave us the 5-minute warning, so we got let's rock and roll.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure we're all on the same page.
I think you guys should do the Gauntlet. I'm just kidding. The look of fear right now is hilarious. Okay, so for the Gauntlet, I need 3 people. You have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as you can WoW related.
Come on.
We have shot glasses we're giving out just for participation. He's giving out t-shirts. So I need 3 volunteers. Step right up. Step right up. 3. Okay, you right there. 2 more. 2 more. You right there. And you. Yes, see 3.
What are the questions?
Okay, so first one, step right up.
Everyone, give him a hand. Give him a hand. Big hand.
They put that mic really close.
I need somebody to be the timer. Horde for life, you want to be the timer guy?
I can do the timer. I got my phone out already.
Okay.
Let's see. If I can figure out how to do that.
So there's.
Okay.
It's labeled like set 1.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Wow. Okay.
It's really tiny. You can turn it around.
It's fine.
Okay. So you're going to have 60 seconds. As many questions as possible. If you get stumped, just say pass, and we'll move on to the next question.
Yeah.
Ready? Let me know when you want to go.
Grab the mic, put it right up to your mouth.
Yep. Right. It's got to be right in there. Like
All
Yeah,
about.
perfect.
you want it to be in.
All right. Are you set?
Yeah.
Hit it. What weapon did High Lord Morgraine wield?
Ashbringer?
Who did Illidan fight in order to claim the title Ruler of Outlands?
Pass.
Who is Medivh's father?
Sejuris?
Nope. Name 4 Orcish clans from Warlords of Draenor.
Black Hand. The Severed Hand.
All the colors
The
of the
green
wind.
hand.
All the hands.
Pass.
What was the demon that corrupted Muru in Sunwell Plateau?
Kill
These
Jaden?
go back.
Kill Jaden?
These are really good questions.
Kill Jaden?
No, it was a demon. His name was Entropius.
Oh.
How many primary dragon flights are there?
You good?
That's time.
5?
There are 5.
There are 5. How many did he get right?
Goodness me, that was at least 4?
Yay.
Did anyone know that
Yeah.
question?
I got none of them right, and I did the question. So here, these are for you,
So,
Marco. These are
some
for
of
you.
those were crazy.
I'll get you your shirt right when we get off the stage.
Oh, you look, yay. You look very smart, so I have high expectations
All
here.
right.
Okay. And there should be a second set.
Sure.
And that's a great shirt you have.
All right.
Ready?
Ready? Ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Go.
Which 2 bosses did you originally need to kill in order to become attuned to Mount Hyjal?
Pass.
Which of these raids does not have a dragon boss? Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, Karazhan, or Naxxramas?
Molten Core.
Molten Core is correct, yeah. What 3 operas can be fought in Karazhan? This is the original Karazhan.
Little Red Riding Hood. Romeo and Juliet.
You're letting me
Wizard
down
of Oz.
right now.
He said Big Bad Wolf, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
we did.
We're all there. What are the secondary professions?
Fishing, first aid, archaeology.
One more.
Know me.
Oh, don't get... Oh,
Cooking.
Cooking, there you go, yeah. Who leads the Shadow Pan from Mists of Pandaria?
Pass. That's Aaron.
It's Terran Zoo. That was last? That was last question. One more. How about this? Who are the 4 keepers from Ulduar?
Mimiron. Freya. Horde.
He's in a Marvel movie. Add an IM. Thorum. There we go. That works just fine.
Yeah, that's what I said
The
there.
hot seat is rough.
I think
man.
that was more than everything. Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome.
All right,
So
give
he
him a
got 4
hand.
right?
He did
5?
get 3 or 4. Yeah.
All right. Here, take your shot glasses. Good job.
Nice shot glasses.
Okay, I have high hopes for you also. Please don't let me down, okay?
Oh my goodness.
No guarantees.
Us
Right,
girls got to stick together,
Right.
you know?
Ready?
All right, Z, you ready?
I'm ready.
And go.
Who sent Garrosh back to Draenor before the orcs drank Manaroth's blood?
Gul'dan.
No, it's Kairos Dormu. Come on now.
I actually knew that.
Who is Arthas's father?
Menethil.
King Tyrannus. Yep.
Cool.
take it.
How much did epic mounts cost in Classic WoW?
5,000 gold.
It was only 1,000.
Oh.
I think they were like 1,000.
The really
600.
fast ones were 5,000.
1,000 back then, yeah. What nickname did Varian obtain while stuck as
Pass.
a gladiator?
What did she say?
Who was the very last raid boss during Wrath of the Lich King?
The Lich King, Arthas.
Nope, it was that stupid dragon, Hallion.
That was a trick question, and it
That
was kind of
doesn't
messed
count.
up.
Yeah. But Lich King can count. What nickname? We did. How many primary professions are currently in the game?
These are tough. Man.
9.
11.
Here's 11.
Who was Malfurion's teacher?
Cenarius.
You got that one. Okay, we're good.
That's it.
You should give me another one.
I should give you another one?
Yeah,
Who
one more.
carried the eagle spear?
Have you quested through High
No
Mountain?
idea.
We did a quest in Legion for it, so I thought
did.
it was easy.
Eagle Spear?
The eagle spear. Hill High Mountain.
You're assuming
AKA
people
a
read
randomly
quest
added lore
text,
character
Belle.
to fill plot holes.
I got nothing.
Give her a hand, everybody.
I gotta
That's
say,
great.
you did not let me down.
They're going to give us the hook here pretty quick.
Well, I think that's going to do it for everyone here at the World of Warcraft panel on Con Before the Storm. Again, I have a ton of she-shirts I'm just going to give out. So it's kind of like first come, first serve, because I've got a lot, and yeah. So if you like a t-shirt, come up to the stage here real quick. I got to get you yours, and you yours,
Thank
and
you
you
guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Nice guys.
Thank you for listening to this presentation from World of Podcast and Con Before the Storm. This podcast was a production of and is copyright by D20 Creative Alliance. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted without written consent from D20 Creative Alliance. The views and opinions expressed are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of D20 Creative Alliance. To learn more about World of Podcast or Con Before the Storm, go to conbeforestorm.com.